Y'all ready for this? Let's go.
Hello and welcome to the Ben James Smith podcast. If this is the first time you've come across my work, I thought it would be useful to start with a simple question. Who is Ben James Smith? So in this episode, I want to explain a little bit about who I am, what I do, and why I spend so much time writing and talking about property investing and developing. I'm a property investor, developer, writer, and podcast host focused on understanding how real investment decisions actually get made. Most of the content I produce is about property investment, evaluating deals, managing risk, and thinking strategically about long-term wealth creation. But more broadly, the work I do is really about decision making, because investing in property isn't just about finding opportunities, it's about understanding markets, analysing risk, and developing the discipline to make good decisions over long periods of time. My experience comes from being actively involved in the property market and learning firsthand how deals work in the real world. And that's important because a lot of investment advice you see online is theoretical. What I try to do instead is share lessons based on real transactions, real decisions, and real outcomes. Some of those lessons come from things that work well, and some come from mistakes and challenges that every investor experiences at some point. Through my writing and podcast, I try to break down how experienced investors actually think about opportunities. For example, how do you evaluate whether a property deal is attractive? How do you think about risk in uncertain markets? How do you develop a strategy that works not just today, but over the long term? These are the kinds of questions that really matter if you want to build wealth through property. I publish most of my work across several platforms. On my website, I write longer articles and essays about property investment and strategic thinking. I also publish commentary on Medium and Substack where I explore ideas in more depth. And of course, there's this podcast where I talk about investment decisions, market observations, and lessons from operating in the market. One thing that's very important in my approach is discipline. Property investing can easily become emotional. Markets move, headlines change, and people often make decisions based on short-term trends. But long-term investors tend to think differently. They focus on frameworks, they think carefully about downside risk, and they stay focused on the long game. Ultimately, the reason I produce this content is simple. Property investing can be incredibly powerful for building long-term wealth, but only if it's approached with the right mindset and a clear strategy. My goal is to share insights that help investors think more clearly, analyze opportunities more effectively, and make better decisions over time. If you'd like to explore more of my work, you can find articles and commentary on my website at benjaminsmith.co.uk. You can also follow the podcast where I'll be sharing more conversations and insights about property investment and strategic decision making. But thanks for listening. Speak soon.